good morning, Arrow.
Good morning, Arrow.
Oh, I love that energy, you guys.
I love yours too.
I got to tell you, I have been a fan of EarthxTV from the very beginning. Correct me if I'm wrong. This started because of Earth Day, did it not? And was it not on late night TV in the very, very beginning, and now it's grown into this beautiful piece of artwork?
Oh, definitely. EarthxTV has just blossomed, and it's such about the environment and taking care of Earth, and we're so excited to be a part of it.
Well, I like what you're doing with the Gators in Texas, and at the same time, I'm also so afraid because I saw what happened to the water buffalo when they snuck them down there into South America, but you guys are doing it the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to remember, these are alligators that are in people's pools or ponds or yards. The problem is people have just moved so close to the alligator's habitat that the alligator has nowhere to go. So we want to give an alligator a good place to go.
Now, Gary and Shannon, I fear that what you're talking about, we're moving in too close because I live in this forest in South Charlotte, North Carolina, and the deer are like my best friend. And I'm so afraid that the climate changes are going to bring those gators into this area.
Yeah, well, it's definitely possible. I mean, they are moving. They're moving more, more westerly and more northerly. So they are being found in places now that they never have been found before.
When you go into an area where an alligator has been spotted, I mean, do you become horse whisperers in the way of alligator whispering?
I would say Gary's the alligator whisperer.
Well, no, I mean, absolutely. When you care about these dinosaurs as much as we do, you learn their movements. I mean, you learn immediately when you're looking at an alligator, you can tell what they're thinking. Are they trying to get away from you? Are they trying to come to eat? When you've done it as long as we have, you know the animal.
I am so glad that you brought up dinosaur because I do that with a lot of people and they look at me kind of strange. But man, but the thing about it is it's because of shows like yours, Gary and Shannon, that the younger kids from 3 up are watching this and they're going, dinosaur, dinosaur. They get it and you're speaking it.
Yeah, that is exactly right. And think about this. In over 300 million years, the core body of this animal has not changed. It's the same animal that it's been all these years.
Why is there never been any type of evolution? I mean, because I would think that they've changed in some way or shape.
As far as the biology of this animal, it has not. What? You think about it. It has survived droughts. It has survived floods. It has survived ice ages. These animals are incredible, man.
What do you do in those situations like we have here in the Carolinas, especially down there in Charleston? And that is when it's egg season, do not go near that gator. How do you guys deal with that?
Well, we tell you to stay away from them. If you encounter one of these alligators, you really you want to stay away from them. And they say zigzag or climb a tree to get away from this alligator. Gary's got the best way to get away from the alligator.
The only way to get away from an alligator when it's chasing you and your wife is to trip your wife.
You've still got to be students, don't you? Because, I mean, even though we've talked about there haven't been really that many changes or no changes at all, but you've still got to be a student of the dinosaur, do you not?
Oh, absolutely. That's where this whole thing originated from. You look through the evolution of 300 to 400 million years, you're going to find the alligator's right there with it all, right in the middle of everything.
Where do you replant an alligator?
We do get permission from Texas Parks and Wildlife to release a certain amount of alligators into the wild. However, the problem is if the alligator has been hand-fed by a human, even one time, they're going to come back to that spot. And that is through research been proven. Yeah. So what we have opened up a sanctuary here just outside of Beaumont called Gator Country. And we're able to bring them live and let them live out their life here in this sanctuary.
I would sit in front of them for hours just studying them because I know they're constantly thinking about something.
Yeah, doesn't it look that way? They've got the biggest smile, too, all the time. An alligator's always smiling back at you.
They're really magical.
And those eyes, oh, my God. I love looking into a gator's eyes.
And they have 3 sets of eyelids, right?
No, I did not know that part.
They do. They have one that opens up like mine and yours. The second one acts like goggles underwater. It's called a nictitating membrane. And the third one is a little bony osteoderm. They can close their whole eyelid to protect our eye if needed.
Is that because from the sun and stuff, especially since the temperatures are gaining in strength right now?
More so is protection of the eye, more so than anything.
Yeah, because they're so close to the earth. I mean, even through Native American spirituality, the gator and snakes are so big on the totem pole because they are cuddling up to Mother Earth.
They do. They use every bit of it. You think about this. During a drought, an alligator will have the only water around. What they'll do is they'll go round and round and round to make a hole, and then that hole will sustain life. It will sustain fish, snakes, birds, you name it. That alligator causes that drought. I mean, what I mean is they're the ones that let everybody survive.
But I really am afraid of next year. You have got to be super busy in trying to prepare for what could be the inevitable.
Well, we saw that this year, and we had a really this was one of the biggest droughts we've had in Southeast Texas in quite some time. And what we found is we saw how the alligators moved and how the alligators found water. Our nuisance alligator calls went up this year by about 15% because of this drought. So no question, the more the drought, the more we've got to catch nuisance alligators because they're getting out of their habitat looking for more water. Okay,
let me ask you this then, Gary. What? Because I've read a lot of stories about Texas getting their butt beat because of the cold too. Where are these gators going in the wintertime?
This is where they're fascinating. What happens is when the water temperature gets to 68 degrees, alligators will stop feeding. Oh. That's the first step of what we'll call a hibernation or a brumation, whichever way you like to look at that. What happens next is the alligator will start to tunnel into the banks of the water, and they will dig a small tunnel, leaving an air pocket in there. 4 or 5 alligators may get in there together, and they'll huddle together, and they will survive through that. An alligator can lower their heart rate down to 3 beats per minute during excessive cold.
Wow, man, this is news to me because I've never seen an alligator being part of a community. So in the wintertime, they really build a team together then.
They will, and you'll notice when the sun does come up, those alligators will come out of that burrow, and they will lay in the sun, and they will gather heat on their osteoderms, which are those bony platelets on the back.
Yep.
They'll gather that heat, and at night when the sun goes down, they'll all get back in there, and they will slowly release that heat from those osteoderms, keeping warmth.
Why don't we want to learn more about this? I mean, that first of all, for EarthxTV to have this is just spectacular, but we need to embrace more wildlife in this nation.
We do, and you can imagine that through our eyes, what we see with animals.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we could look at it through their eyes?
I don't know if they'd like what they see. I don't think they'd like it.
Absolutely.
So where can people go to find out more about you guys? Because man, you should be on the front of every T-shirt in this country. You guys are marketing.
You'll be able to view our TV show on EarthxTV through DirecTV,
yep.
ATT Uverse, Spectrum, and Fubo.
Yep. See, and that's how I found you all those years ago. It was on really super late night TV, and it's like, oh my God, I got to talk to these guys.
Yeah, no doubt. There's just so much to learn, and even at my level with the alligators, there's still so much to learn every day.
Absolutely. Please come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, you guys be brilliant today, okay?
You too. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Have a wonderful day.